everybody, my name is Al Nicoletti. I'm an attorney here in Florida, and welcome to the Al Nicoletti Show. Hey everybody, my name is Al Nicoletti. I'm an attorney here in Florida, and welcome to the Al Nicoletti Show. Hey everybody, my name is Al Nicoletti. I'm an attorney here in Florida, and welcome to the Al Nicoletti Show. Hey everybody, my name is Al Nicoletti. I'm an attorney here in Florida, and welcome to season 4 of the Al Nicoletti Show. Hey everybody, my name is Al Nicoletti. I'm an attorney here in Florida, and welcome to the Al Nicoletti Show. Hey everybody, my name is Al Nicoletti. I'm an attorney here in Florida, and welcome to the Al Nicoletti Show. And welcome back, everybody. We are back and live in the Al Nicoletti studio. Welcome to season 7. It's hard to believe we are here. It's been a wild journey, and I am so happy to be back. We are all so grateful to all of our listeners in the audience, and we are excited to bring you another jam-packed season of guests. And I just got to give a shout out to my entire team, Taylor Nasta, Michael Williams in the studio, and it's all about the team. It's all about having everybody around you. We are all growing together, and I'm excited. It's going to be another great season, and for more content like this, you got to scan the QR code. The QR code is going to have all of our stuff from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media content, and you can find the Al Nicoletti Show on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible. Maybe you're on the road, maybe you want to listen to it, whatever it is, you can find it all there, and you can find all the videos on probates, partitions, quiet titles, you name it, all the stuff in the curative title industry. You don't want to miss it. It's the hottest topic around. And speaking of curative title, I was like, we got to bring on my guy, Will Denis, for another episode. And he's been on the show before, and we're bringing him back because Will is heavy and deep in curative title, and he brings the heat every time we've had him on the show. So I'm super excited to bring Will Denis on the show. And I got my notepad, I got my pen. We are ready to kick off season 7. So let's rock this thing. Hey everybody, my name is Al Nicoletti. I'm an attorney here in Florida, and welcome to the Al Nicoletti Show, where I bring out real estate super investors, rising rock stars, movers and shakers, and leaders of clubs in their communities that educate, entertain, and inspire all things on Florida real estate and bring in the best in the game, no matter what industry they're in, whether it's Florida, Arizona, Ohio, California. We want to bring the best in the game on how you can take your company to the next level. Well, we are here. We are back. We are back in the studio for season 7 on the Al Nicoletti Show. I am super pumped, and our team is ready for another banger of a season. You don't want to miss these episodes that are coming out because we are bringing the best in the business to you. And I got the guy to be on the season 7 premiere tonight, Will Denis from Reverse Flip. And I thought this is a perfect episode to kick off the season so we can dive in on all things curative title, messy, wild, hairy deals. I was like, we got to bring Will on. This is the hottest trend going on right now. So let's bring him on. Without further ado, let's welcome him to the show. My guy, Will Denis. Let's go, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. Hey, that's quite the intro. First of all, the budget for the studio has gone up because the intro video was sick. So I like that. I appreciate you. I'm happy to be here. This is a big subject, and clearly it is here to stay. I've been at it for a while, so it's crazy to see how many people now are flowing into this curative, hairy title space.
Absolutely. And I just got to say, man, I mean, over the years of us, hanging out, getting to know each other, I love seeing your growth. I love the Reverse Flip community. I love what you're doing with it and building it out, the students that are in there. For those that haven't heard about Reverse Flip, you got to check out Will Denis's whole Reverse Flip community and where he's at on social. So Will, let's dive in on this today. Like, what's the hottest trend going around in real estate right now?
I mean, look, for me, it's not a trend. I've been doing these deals for a while, but I think for sure people are moving, wholesalers, that kind of stuff. They have found it very difficult for, that industry has changed. It's very expensive to do marketing. It's a war of attrition now, right? There's a few big players and stuff like that. you got to compete so much. So they're going to, okay, the last frontier, in my opinion, which is how do we fix these hairy deals or these dead leads in our business? Because clearly there's some guys that have been doing it like myself since 2019 that make a lot of money. So I think that it's just becoming, there's enough awareness now where guys are starting to dive into, all right, well, how do I go after these not so clean deals anymore?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the curative deals, there's a lot of investors that are picking up deals where they can't get everybody on board on the same page. And sometimes these trees or these fact pattern scenarios involve not just maybe a probate or some kind of messy deal that needs to be cleaned up, but we're talking about there's a lot of people that may be on these deals. And I think what people are finding is that before they didn't want to touch it. They didn't want to get into it. They didn't want to get their hands dirty. But then, here's Will Denis, here's Logan Fulmer, here's all these guys that are like getting their hands dirty, getting down into it and getting into this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've been here, bro. I know Logan. I like the guy. I was on his podcast. I think we're the two only dudes in the country at a high level, in my opinion, that are doing this, teaching this, delivering for it. Right. I mean, Reverse Flip as a community opened up September of 2024, right? But before that, I was teaching this to a lot of local guys in my South Florida market, going all the way back to 2021. And I started in real estate in 2017, but I really bought my first deed, a hairy deal, Curative, which was actually a quiet title, in 2019. So about 7 years of doing this. And dude, I'll be quite honest with you, spanking that ass in any marketplace. Yeah. Like just completely blowing people out of the water in terms of, deal size, no competition, just opportunities that nobody else, they're out there for everybody, but nobody else knows how to convert them. So we became really proficient at doing it. And now we're teaching the people how to become really proficient at doing it.
Absolutely. So, Will, give us like a deal breakdown. So, you may come across a deal where there's a probate, there's 4 heirs, you get everybody on contract, but that's not a lot of the deals that you're seeing. You're seeing the ones where you can't find people, they're uncooperative. Give us a really good, from the beginning, deal breakdown so we can give people that are listening and watching an idea of what this curative title thing really is.
Yeah, so super simple, man. That's actually one that we got yesterday. So, from start to finish, right? And there's a big misconception where all these deals are going to take a really long time and all the marketing is going to take a really long time, right? So to all my wholesalers out there and all this stuff, there's a guy in our community. He does a text campaign about 15, 16 days ago to a tax delinquent pre-inherited list, okay? Meaning multiple people on title. There's one person or more that says estate of, this is in Florida. So they tagged it as pre-inherited. Obviously, tax delinquent. I believe they were tax delinquent 2+ years, which I like them better at 2+ years rather than 1 year. 3+ years in Florida is stellar. Anything above that, homestead exemptions, homestead penalties. Now you're going to be really excited, right? So this gentleman, yeah, we're like nerds.
Adverse possession list, whatever there is.
Dude, we are the nerd. You know what this is? Curative title, and now I'm jacked up. Curative title and all this stuff is like, we are the nerds in Stranger Things. Yes. If you've ever watched that show.
Yes.
And nobody cared about us, like Hellfire Club and stuff. And now we're the cool kids. We're like, yeah, we're making a lot more money than you. And these are different opportunities, and we don't have to compete with all these other guys. But anyway, I digress. 15 days ago, does a text campaign. One of the heirs, right, unbeknownst to him, one of the heirs contacts back from all the numbers that he skip traced and he texted. And it was a basic text. The text was, hey, are you the owner or are you associated with 123 Main Street? Guy texts back. He said, yep. They go back and forth a little bit via text. They get on a phone call, starts, the conversation. Now, this dude, Christian is his name. He's been in Reverse Flip now for about 8 months, so he knows how to do these things, right? He knows about the hairy deals. This isn't his first one, so he knows kind of what questions to ask. And obviously, he sees 6 people on title, which is not common, right, on the property appraiser. And then there's one with an estate of. So he's like, all right, what the hell is going on here? The guy that he's talking to is not on title. So he's like, all right, this is very interesting. So he goes in and the gentleman explains to him, look, basically, my sister and I inherited this house from our mom, Donnie, who was the estate of. Now, all my nephews are on title now because they did a deed 10 years ago, or actually 15 years ago. And I am 50% owner of this house. Like, that's just what it was. Probate was never done. There was no will, so intestate, right? All that kind of stuff. And he starts gathering information. Long story short, gentleman works at Publix. He lives up in Central Florida. He's nowhere near this property. Obviously can't upkeep the property tax. They've tried to circumvent this guy out. So basically, he ends up owning 25%, okay? Because his 50%, unfortunately, was diluted down to 25%. They did a deed. Maybe the lady was alive. Maybe she wasn't alive. Maybe it's fraudulent. Maybe it's not. That's not my business, though, right? I don't want to get into that. I want the fastest path to money. So we agreed. It's free and clear, by the way, for the listeners. So the as-is of this house is $375. All right. So if you're following along with some numbers, $375. He owns a quarter, so 25%. So his 25% is worth $93,750. Okay, everybody follow.
Yep.
We are buying his 25% for $35,000. It's already done. We already got the deed. We already got all the docs, right? We don't get contracts, any of that stuff. We get a contract for deed, but this is a 60+ K spread on the deal. Okay, now you're going to do the probate because it's coming to you. And
let's go, baby.
Yeah, it's basically one probate. I'm sure it's going to be a summary, right? And whatever. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into it unless you want to, but that's basically a deal. That is a deal that, and just from the understanding, and I love wholesalers. I was one for a long time. A wholesaler could not do that deal because they can't go get a contract for partial interest on that house. And they don't even know, worse yet, take it 2 steps back. The average wholesaler, I would actually say 99% of wholesalers, unless they're in my community, do not know how to do the research that Christian knew how to do. Did not know how to ask, hey, is there a will? Is there not a will? Doesn't know the difference between intestate or testate. Doesn't know the difference between multiple people on title and the tax delinquency. And, oh, wait, let's build out a family tree. So Donnie and the daughter, okay, they were tenants in common, not JTRS with joint tenants provider survivorship. Now the property's flowing down. So it's 50-50. Did they have kids? Did they not? Was it the homestead? Was it not? You know, there's all these questions. So the average wholesaler, and that's why you see these houses, the average house for us sits on the market for 5+ years. These aren't new problems, by the way, guys. What I'm trying to tell you is they're around you at all times. You just don't know how to look for them because you don't have the right lenses on.
Yeah, and Will, a lot of people don't realize how long these properties sit. Sometimes it's 5 years. Sometimes it's 20 years. There's people that have been paying the taxes for 20 years and think that, you know, oh, that's it. You know, I mean, you got to go through some steps to even try to get to that point. But, you know, we see so many people that just let the property sit in distress. And you touched up on a great point. Like, there's so many people that do the wholesaling, they do the assignments, and they've gotten everybody on board, so then they get their end buyer. This is a different kind of game. This is a different kind of situation where you're really finding the partial interest. And so your point about the research and the due diligence and the kind of things that go into it, walk us through. And I do want to finish the back end of that deal because I want to kind of see what the potential is with numbers and everything. But give us this front end part of the research and the due diligence that you're having to do to understand the deeds, to understand what the tenants in common thing is, and getting into all that, right? Like, you have to build this stuff out.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can go in a lot of different directions here, but I would say the number one thing that I teach and my coach teaches inside of reverse flip is, I call it running the play. All right. I like sports. I call it running the play. What the hell's running the play? Pre-deal underwriting, if you want to be more specific. Okay. The way that and I'm going to break it down to you like this. You've been in the business a long time. We're getting old, Al. That's just happening. Right?
We're getting old, man.
Okay? But you look better and I look better today than we did 5 years ago. Anyway, the point is, the way the wholesale business is broken down and the way that everybody gets taught, including me, is, oh, you get a lead, you speak to the lead, you underwrite the deal, meaning the property, 80% times ARV minus repair minus my wholesale fee. That's what I got, right? You do that, but everyone forgets, hey, how about I underwrite what the hell's the situation with this person?
Mm-hmm.
So the average wholesaler journey is they go get a contract, right? They freak out because they're like, yeah, I got a deal. Woo! It's a 50K deal, 20K deal, whatever it is. Then they send it off to Never Land in the title company. Now the title company goes and orders the TC, the title commitment, and the lien search, right? And now maybe 2 weeks goes by, 3 weeks sometimes. Maybe it's faster, maybe it's slower. Then they get all the pile of shit. And then they get hit with the reality of, yeah, you got the wrong person to sign. This person actually doesn't have any beneficial interest. This needs 2 probate. Did you know about this? Did you know about the mortgage? Oh, but the mortgage was $200,000. Well, why'd you think that? Well, because the seller told me it was $200,000. Yeah, but they've been in foreclosure for 5 years, so it's $350,000, and the house is worth $300,000. You got no equity. So they've ridden this roller coaster, right? Emotional roller coaster is what I call it. It's not fun for 2-3 weeks, and then the deal goes, poof, and the average wholesaler goes, deal's dead, man. Nothing I can do, right? So now let's fast forward to 2026. It's a new world, right?
We got airplanes. New world.
We got stuff, right? We got AI. We got shit. We got Will. We got Al. We got people. We teach you, and I teach you how to do pre-deal underwriting. I teach you how to look all that stuff up in these really cool websites called the Circuit Clerk of Courts, the Civil Case Search, which is the docket, the court cases, the auction sites, Real Foreclose, all those things, my app, the Deal Finder, all these things. And we do, call it a ghetto title search, a ghetto lien search, if you will, a quick search in your world, okay? And we do this, and we identify all these problems, and we say, all right, listen, this property's got some liens, this property's got multiple owners, all right, this is the family tree, this is what we're going to do, but it's got no mortgage, so it's got high equity, hey, it's got some liens, violation to this, to that, oh, maybe there's a squatter inside of it, maybe it's adverse possession, hey, the property looks like shit from the outside. We do all these things, and then we calculate the equity, and then we frame and design the deal based on the problems and how much work is going to go into those problems. So I know, like this deal, we got to do 3 probates.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's probably like $9,000 in probates, right? They're all summaries. They should be pretty straightforward. But as you know, nothing's ever straightforward with probate. So especially with no will.
And it can be if you make it that way. But for a lot of these, you have to have the analysis down, right? Like you got to know.
You got to know what you're doing.
It's all front end stuff.
Dude, listen. I would rather, and the way that I teach my guys, and most of them are wholesalers, I would rather you spend 10. And by the way, guys, like if you're listening to this, you say, holy shit, this is so much work to do. Dude, when you get, I have all the SOPs and all that stuff, and we train this, but like when you get proficient at this, dude, I can underwrite a deal in 10 minutes. I can tell you everything that's going on in 10 minutes, and I could save you 10 weeks of time and brain damage. I can tell you that right now. I can also show you what documents to get so that you stop getting circumvented on deals. Because your contract's equitable interest, which is the equivalent to nothing. It's a promise from a seller and a buyer. I'd rather go get a deed. I'd rather go be able to record that deed, right? And it depends if it's a probate or not. But again, that's the major difference between the wholesale world, and I love wholesalers. Again, I love them. I was one of them. I had to learn these things the hard way. And nowadays with technology and all that, you guys got to pre-underwrite your deals. So you know you should not be relying on a title company or a title attorney 2-3 weeks down the road to tell you, hey, man, you got a pile of shit here. You should have known that. And then you're way high on price. Now you have to retrade with the owner. You have to cancel. They got 13 other dipshits on their phone telling them the same thing you did. No, I could pay you more money. They don't know how to underwrite the deal, right? So again, when I speak to a seller or when my team speaks to a seller, we're very direct, very transparent, very honest. And usually we're getting these deals, number one, because a lot of people aren't competing. But number two, because we're actually educating these sellers. So the trust factor is just through the roof. Like if I tell you that you got this family tree breakup and you got this tax delinquency, you got these liens and code violation, and this is what's going to pop up on title, but here's how we're going to fix it, Mr. Seller, and we got the in-house attorney to do it, and and it's going to all be at our cost. Dude, average seller's like, no one's ever told me that before. I'm like, I know. Because all they care about is like, well, what do you want for the house? How's the AC on the house? Is the roof 10 years old? Like, come on, guys. We're better than that. We can underwrite deals better than that, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. And Will, you're spot on with the education to the sellers, like explaining to figure out how to help solve their problems. Like they're also dealing with family members they haven't spoken to in 10, 20, 30, 50 years.
Or they don't even know exist.
Or no, exactly. They're
it's even better.
On the other side of the planet, you know? And so the education, and it's about, you know, it's like framing it to be like, it's all about helping to solve the community's issues, the problems, helping to solve the seller's issues. And if you go in that direction, it's great because like you said, it builds that trust, and we're here to help solve the problems. And some of the other
if I may, let me just tell you, this is one thing I always tell people, and any wholesaler listening right now, please pay attention, as I'm about to make you a lot of money. This is a mindset shift that needs to happen if you want to make a lot of money in this business. I don't solve problems regarding to the house. I solve problems for the sellers. The real estate just comes attached. I'm not buying the house. I'll say that again. I'm buying problems. The bigger the problem, the bigger the profit. The real estate just comes attached to the problem. You guys are so focused on letting a seller get you in, or competition, get you into a war of attrition, which is a losing battle. Talking about the property, talking about value, talking about the AC, talking about this. Dude, you need to focus on their problems. If you're talking about price, you're having the wrong conversation. That's all I can tell you. Price is important at the end. My average call, let's say it's 30 minutes, 25 minutes of it is all info gathering, problem gathering, structuring, empathy, figuring stuff out, building out the problem, us educating them. And then the last 5 minutes might be like, all right, listen, so we got to have this conversation. You know, let's talk about, what are you thinking about this after everything you know? Because that person's going to completely change. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all about the education and trying to work out their issues, their problems. Like you said, we're not even focused on the property. Property's got its own problems, and that, you know, that's its own thing. That's just title stuff that we have to resolve, right? But it's what they're going through and being able to take it off their hands. And you really, like, while you were explaining everything with the pre-deal underwriting and going through the clerk dockets, you know, it's like, it kind of makes wholesaling look like it's on a high school or college level. And then when you get to the curative stuff, that makes it sound like it's like graduate level, and that's real world, real life experience. Like, that's next level stuff. Like, if you can solve it on that next level stuff, you could do any deal. You can figure out, you can solve these deals.
Dude, you can make, and again, I don't know how many people know my background on here, but I was running an $8 million a year wholesale operation. I don't say that to be arrogant. I just say that to, like, I put up some yards on the field for sure. And I've done it the hard way, you know, ton of marketing and market more and hire more and do more deals and make more offers. I learned this through trial and error. So everything I bring to Reverse Flip has been through trial and error. Like, all the content that dude, I go live on YouTube every day. It's called the Reverse Flip Deal Desk. I literally run plays every day. And I underwrite a deal completely different. Like, we bought a house yesterday in Jersey, $100K for 50%. The as is 650. There's no mortgage.
Wow.
You're not getting that deal. Like, there's no, like, my best deal in wholesaling, yeah, it was $250,000, but it was one of these.
Yeah.
It was one of these. It was a double contested probate and this and that. And the house had sat there with an adverse possession squatter for 6+ years. The guy was almost at the 7-year mark. And the heir lived 2 blocks away. No one, again, guys, no one's talking to these people. Do you understand? Like, no one in the wholesale world is usually marketing to my type of seller. The problem is, you guys are going after every single hot girl at the dance. I don't care about the hot girl I am the hot girl at the dance. I'm throwing dynamite in the water, like, again and again and again with nets. And that's what my community does as well.
Yeah. And Will, I think the most important thing too is if you're out there and you're seeing these deals and you get stuck and immediately like you're just like, oh, I can't get everybody on board, it's a dead deal. You need to really rethink that, because the deal that may be dead is alive. And you're missing out on so many deals. I mean, Will, can you imagine going back to your $8 million a year wholesaling business? How many deals you left on the table back then that if you would have done Curative, it would have been like, I mean, what would that have looked like?
Oh my God. Well, I've actually sadly done the math, and it was probably another $5 million, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah. And look, I was doing some of that. Like my sales reps at that time, my acquisition reps, were trained like if this, then that. And if a deal was dead, their go-to was just buy the deed for $1,000. So they did do that. And we did. And I ended up with like 23 deeds by 2021, which is funny enough. Then my value tripled after post-COVID, which was just kind of how it happened. But dude, I ended up, look, my first rental portfolio I built through this, right? I used what is now called reverse flip, but like I used that strategy to control the property, take over the mortgages, restructure the debt, do loss mitigation. I ended up with rental after rental after rental. If I told you my basis, or the average person in reverse flip that's keeping rentals, if I told you their basis, you wouldn't believe me. You'd be like, nah, there's no way. There's no way. The average person in this community is buying houses at 40 cents on the dollar.
Wow.
And I'm not talking about Podunk, Alabama. You know where I'm at in my market.
Yeah, I do.
Like we're talking about Miami. We're talking about Dallas. We're talking about Atlanta. We're talking about Jacksonville. Like we're talking about prime time, major metro markets.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is all over the place too. Like whether it's the prime markets, the sub markets, the ancillary markets, like, I mean, it's everywhere. And people, all these different people have problems that need to be solved. And it's a matter, and I really think it comes down to, like you said, the pre-deal underwriting is number one. And then number two, having the right expert that can help come in and solve that issue too on the legal side. And then you got the title company. And I think when you put all of that together, these deals have so much momentum, so much possibility, and there's so much potential success behind it. And it really becomes like you said, like Will said, a mindset shift. Shift it from, my deal's not dead, it's alive. And how do we figure this out and solve it? And what do the price points look like? And how do we get with the sellers so we can figure this out? So Will, break this down for us. The documents, how critical is it to have these documents ready to go up front on the front end of the process?
Yeah, so it's very important, obviously. Again, we don't get contracts. It's very rare that we'll get like a PSA or a contract like that. We do get a contract for deed, which basically, it does a good job of memorializing what we just did, the transaction, talks about consideration, which, as an attorney is important, right? So you don't end up with a seller saying, oh, even if I buy their house for $1,000, yes, I buy houses for $1,000. It happens every day. Even if I buy them for $1,000, they can't say, well, I didn't get my $1,000, right? And then you run into some issues. But yeah, so a deed, again, different states, different kinds of deeds. So, feel free to, check that out for yourself. But a deed, we used to use a POA. Now we're using an assignment of interest per your recommendation. So, that's very important. Keep smart people around you. So a deed, an assignment of interest. We have a disclosure form, which is really like a cover your ass kind of form. It has like 30 initials. I'm of sound mind. I understand what's going on here. Da, 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 da. I've received this. I've received that. There's a couple affidavits that we get signed as well. All these docs are inside the reverse flip, community if people are in there. Also very important too, many years ago, I started getting probate docs up front. So I started to build processes around like, all right, every single time that I get a probate, I notice I need an affidavit of heirs, for this type of probate, or I have a probate questionnaire, or I might need a joinder, right? Depending on what state you're in and stuff like that. So we just get them up front. If we already got like this heir that's signed at the Publix, we got the joinders, we got the affidavit of heirs, right? Like, God forbid, we don't need that from him anymore. Because you got to get pretty good at, hey, I got all my docs up front. I want to submit everything to my attorney, and I want him to just go. I don't want him to take 2, 3, 4 days to review and then come back and be like, hey guys, you know what we're going to need? We're going to need this, this, this. Now I got to call back the seller or the heir. And I got to be like, hey man, remember all those docs that you signed? So I got some more docs for you to sign, you know, and it's a pain in the ass. So yeah, I mean, deed, assignment of interest, depending on the probate, if you need some of those docs, and then an affidavit, and we do a consideration document as well that memorializes it.
Yeah, and it's so important to get all these documents like squared away up front, because like that helps everything in the deal structure. Like if you're gonna do the partial interest, the buying out, like you got to have these documents in a row. And Will, just a little breakdown, your team structure. Like to be able to do these curative deals, do you need a giant team to do this? You need like a whole boiler room, or do you need like a couple Navy SEALs?
Dude, you nailed it, bro. You took the words right out of my mouth. Like we are like the Delta Force of real estate. Like send me and 3 guys, I'll give you a country. 100%. Like I'll give you back a country with the American flag hoisted. Yeah, this is not we need all these people and all this marketing and a lot of moving. Dude, this is a sniper approach versus a machine gun. So no, if I could go back to 2017 to a non-bearded version of me, 25-year-old, I would have, that's where I made the most money. 2017 to like 2020. Like the year I did $8 million, it was great. It was cute. I didn't keep a lot of shit because it was so expensive. And my team was 20-something people. Like, dude, I've made millions of dollars, like net, just doing this. As a matter of fact, my number one student, number one in all of it, is out of Miami. His name is Oscar. This dude has a team of 6, including him, okay? Some VAs, some in-house. He's doing $5 million a year.
Wow.
One niche, adverse possession, and heirs, right? So, and obviously no debt because they're in adverse possession. Miami-Dade County. And his number one marketing channel is virtual driving for dollars.
That's amazing.
That's it.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple enough. Yeah. And
he is smoking people. His average deal size is $77,000.
Wow.
The average wholesale deal size is $23,000 nationwide. He is smoking people. He is in the Miami market, which is arguably the most competitive in America and the most shady by far. So he's just not playing the same game. You said it. These guys are playing, I don't know, checkers, and he's over there like chess. It's just completely different. People are like, where is he finding these deals? I'm like, in the same neighborhoods you guys are. It's not like there's some special neighborhood where Oscar flips. Like they're all in the same neighborhoods. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like,
and by the way, no fix and flip, nothing. These are all just pick them up as is, sell them as is.
Yeah, people are looking for like the magic list. It's the same list it's the same things over and over and over.
The best place to start, by the way, just some practical advice, is in your dead list, is in your dead leads, in your CRM.
Yeah.
Like, oh, where do I get started? I'm like, do you have a CRM? Yeah. Do you have leads in there? Yeah. I'm like, go to your dead column. Go to your canceled contracts. Go there. Go talk to other wholesalers in your marketplace or other co-wholesalers and say, hey, anything that died, like you got anything that just canceled? Oh man, most people are gonna have a story and be like, oh dude, there was this shit box that we couldn't figure out. And what happened? Boom, 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 boom,
yep.
Boom. And then I get the story.
Yeah. And Will, to that point, I remember talking to an investor a couple weeks ago. And when I walked them through this whole curative thing, immediately the light bulb went on. They're like, wait a second. I can think of 5 deals I have in my CRM pipeline right now that we need to go back to. Are you telling me we could do the buying out of partial interest? We can buy the deed. I'm like, this is around. This is it.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
Dude, Al, you and I have known each other for what, like 5 years?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Been a long time.
Yeah.
Bro, how long have I been talking about this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember the mini mastermind we went to. I mean, you were talking about it then. You were like, we're building out the model. It's like, this is there.
Bro, I've been I've been in boardroom, right? Family, Collect Genius, all that stuff. Dude, I've literally stood in front of these people. You know, I'm not quiet.
No.
There's nothing quiet about me.
It's
and
loud.
I've stood in front of all these top investors, friends of mine, and I've given the presentation. I'm like, Here's a case study. Here's a case study. Here's a case study. Here's a case to 100 grand, 200 grand, 150 grand, 180 grand, 95 grand. And they're all looking at me like, we just mark them dead. I'm like, all right, cool, bro. So I'll just be over here by myself. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But now it's cool. Now it's getting cool. And Logan Fulmer and I were talking about it. I'm like, ain't that a bitch? People are like, yeah, I'm like, but now it's getting cool because it's hard to deny that the wholesale market is extremely competitive. And it's also hard to deny the amount of money we're making.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. People care about money. Like, it's stupid money.
And the deals. Like, yeah, everybody's like, oh, I can't pick up any deals. Like, they're everywhere. They're all over.
Everywhere,
you can have a massive pipeline if you really wanted to, too.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. I'm not saying this to be arrogant. I have too many deals. That's my problem. Like, I'm not kidding you. And the average person in reverse flip, they're like, dude, this is like an abundance of problems. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's wild. Will, this has been so much fun, man. I know we could go on a 2-hour masterclass and, like, you know, maybe that's something.
You know what, buddy? We should.
You know, we should do that. We should do like an exclusive series on Al Nicoletti Show. Ooh, maybe stay tuned for that.
I'm dead serious. Like, we should. I'm on a mission right now to give away as much information and as much content about this as possible. Because it's like oxygen. Like, because you breathe more than me doesn't mean that I'm get less oxygen or sunshine. Like, there is no scarcity in my brain or in this side of the business. There's none.
Yeah.
There's none.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Sky's the limit. A lot of opportunity. And I think that we should do that. We'll get to that point where we're going to do a masterclass with Will. We'll do like a 2-hour masterclass, and he'll break it down. He'll share the screen, give an idea of what's going on, and he can show you inside reverse flip what's happening. Will, so much fun. And as I do at the end of the Al Nicoletti Show, I do a segment called Final Words, Final Thoughts, lasting impressions, lasting words. Final words, final thoughts, Will Denis.
I'd rather have 20% of a watermelon than 100% of a grape. A lot of you guys need to get out of your own way. Stop thinking in scarcity. Stop being cheap. There's a lot of things that you don't know, just like I don't know a lot of things, all right? Go out there, learn from somebody who's done something different from you, and JV with them and pay it forward. It'll make you so much money, you have no idea. I see that sadly too much in our industry of like wholesaling and flipping. Everyone's always like guarded and trying to, no, it's mine. Dude, guys, get out of your own way, man. There's such a big world out there. Invest in yourself. Trust me, it'll work out for you.
I love the words. I love the analogy. And, you know, Will, I love your growth and seeing where you've come and are going, brother. I love your reverse flip community. For those that haven't seen reverse flip, you got to check it out. You got to see what's going on in the community. Get in touch with Will. It's incredible the kind of deals that Will and his students, an incredible amount of students in there, are seeing. So check that out. Will, always love seeing you, brother. I can't wait to do more deals. Let's get into this Curative 2026, hitting it strong. Love you, brother. Let's see you soon, man.
Love you too, man. Hey, I love the energy, love the show, and I appreciate you having me, man.
Of course, Will. Let's do it, man. We'll do that masterclass soon. We'll get that locked in.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. We'll see you soon, man.
Take care, dude.
All right. Oh, man. Like, if you missed any of this episode, like this, so let me just break this down on the ending monologue of the season 7 premiere. This curative title niche, like Will's talking about, this is the cool thing right now, and people are paying attention because the market has changed. Things are different from where it used to be with all the assignments and wholesaling and all of that. This is a new era. This is a new age. We're seeing it. And we're here, like 2026 and beyond. Curative title is here, and it's here to stay. Like this is where deals can really happen. And what I love so much about what Will talked about on the show, and what I love so much about what Logan Fulmer talks about, and all the people that are in this niche, there's so many deals that are out there. And people think they have deals that are dead in the pipeline. And like I was telling Will, I know people I've spoken to that will say, man, wait a second. We can do that deal now? I'm thinking of like 6-7 deals in my pipeline. We can do that. We can get that done. And people are going back and running the numbers and scrambling and looking back and going and doing their research and building out the trees and trying to find out like how we can do this. These deals are there. They're possible. And I'm fired up and passionate about it. I know Mike sees me every day. I'm like, curative title. Like, this thing is like rampant and massive. And you can learn this. I mean, you can learn the front end. You got the legal end. You got the title to wrap it up. There's so many possibilities that are out there. And I think that there's so many deals you can get into. And if you can learn this, the deals are out there. It's just about running the numbers, solving and helping the people's problems. Like Will was saying, it's about solving the people's problems. Not even just solving the home issue. The home issue is its own thing. Solving their problems because of people they haven't spoken to in years or can't get along with. And you got solutions. You're bringing solutions to the table. And I love what reverse flip is about. I love the students in there. I see their mindsets. Reverse flip in Will's community, they're asking detailed questions. Like, this is not surface level stuff. Like, we're getting into how this gets done. I got a deal right now, and it's hairy, messy, weird, bizarre. How do we solve it? And so that's what we're seeing. And that's what, even in my law firm, we're doing the curative title stuff here in Florida. We're doing the curative stuff. Like, this is what we're seeing. We're doing the legal side. We see the mess. So I just want everybody to know out there, the first episode of the season, the premiere, I really wanted it, and I was waiting for this. I really wanted it to be about curative title. I really wanted to be Will coming on to explain this stuff because this is hot. This is what's going on, and we're rolling. And I know a lot of people that are going to watch this episode are going to go, wait a second, we can do these deals. How do we do that? And one thing we'll make sure we do, we'll put a QR code. We'll have the checklist for the curative title checklist. And you'll see some of the documents and some of the things that we even need that we're like, hey, do you have this? Do you have this? Like some of the key critical things that you'll need to getting into a curative deal. We'll put that right there. I know Mike will put it like somewhere in the corner over there, but we'll make sure it's up there. And if you missed any of this episode, I'm like, I'm always blown away by the guests we have. And Will's been on once before and just love seeing its growth. I love the guest value. And one thing that I want to make sure we always do, because you guys know we don't get into the fluff. We're not talking about fluff. I take a knife and I cut like right in it. We get right down to this. I want people to see that these things are possible. And we're always going to bring guests on that can take it to the next level, take us all to the next level. And I wanted to bring that to you on the season 7 premiere. And if you missed any of this episode, go back, check it out, watch it, and scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen to get more episodes on the Al Nicoletti Show. We are off and running. We are going. We will see you next week at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we'll see you then, everybody. Yeah, new times, by the way. I think we're changing it. We're going to go from 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Watch the times. Make sure you glue in. Subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss it. Hit the bell. We'll see you next week, everybody. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.